The news is brought to you by the National Bank of the Virgin Islands, Cyril B. Ramney Tertola Pier Park, NV Salon Spa Nail and Barbershop, the Wellness Center, Medical and Behavioral Health Clinics, Ticely Cross Deliciously Smooth Cider, HOV Medical and Digicel, simply more speed, reliability and entertainment. Women in politics.
It's topical, everyone is, you have various prophets saying who will make up the next government, and you have more than one prophet. I think I've counted 3 so far. So, in an eerie kind of way, I want to use the historical account of women in BVI politics to sort of do some prophesizing of my own.
Mrs. Elisa Penn Lettsome taking a group through a time capsule of women in BVI politics through an academic eye.
But it's going to be based on academic and not some other science that we cannot quite measure. And I'm going to show you how history is probably going to repeat itself, and as to why women are likely to be successful again. So Miss Millicent Mercer was the first person, the first female to run for politics in BVI in 1971. She was a novice running against a veteran politician. And of course, she didn't succeed. But I want to read to you what she said. She said, "I decided to try because I agree that women must become involved for the good of all." Mercer went on to explain, "I feel that by stepping forward, it will encourage other women to show the necessary interest in the affairs of the territory. Men are not the only ones to lead and to work for progress. Women must also do their part." That was 1971. It was another 12 years before another woman would run. Patsy Lake and Eileen Parsons. 1983. Both novices again, and again, both unsuccessful. 1986, Patsy Lake and Eileen tried again, and they were joined by Malcia Hodge. Again, unsuccessful. 1990, we had Medita Wheatley and Ines Turnbull. And it was the same thing, again, unsuccessful. So from 1971 all the way up to 1990.
It was in the year 1995 that the first 2 women were elected to office.
1995, almost 1/4 of the 38 candidates were women, the highest number of women at that point. They all ran, interestingly, as independent, and 2 were successful: Eileen Parsons, Ethelyn Smith.
According to Penn Lettsome, it was a change in law that resulted in the eventual election of women into the legislature.
As luck would have it, the answer lies in a change in law, but not a change in law as in a change in legislation, like you might be thinking. In 1991, the United Kingdom used its power to pass laws for the territory to abolish the death penalty. No consultation with overseas territories was held. It went across the board for overseas territories. According to this book, it was the unilateral abolition of the death penalty that acted as the catalyst for change. Government ministers petitioned the UK for constitutional review with a view to seeking greater autonomy for the territory. The Constitutional Review Commissioners were appointed in 1993 and they reported in 1994. At that time, the constitutional review wasn't like it has been for the last two reviews. They were largely driven by the United Kingdom, and there was only, of the three commissioners, only one was local. So without any delay, the main recommendation was to implement the at-large system, which had already been on the books but never used. That recommendation was put swiftly into place. So the timeline, the commission was appointed in 1993, reported in 1994, and you see that it was in place for the 1995 general election. And that is when you had your first two successful female candidates, not one, but two.
Penn Lettsome was at the time a guest speaker at the Kaleidoscope International's 5th Annual Women's Day event promoted by Gloria George Foy and held on the island of Virgin Gorda with a full house at Fisher's Cove. Penn Lettsome referenced the book titled From the Fields to the Legislature, A History of Women in the Virgin Islands, authored by Eugenia O'Neill.
So Nina O'Neill in her book says at least one observer saw that the woman's win as a sign that, quote, the territory is maturing politically. With the last few remaining years in this century, BVI voters have signaled their readiness at last for a change from the male bastion that had previously characterized the legislature. That's progress, so says the Beacon editorial. The rest is history. Women have succeeded. You mentioned Dolores Christopher, and there have been others, of course, coming right up to the current day. So a lot of the other things noted in the book are actually now no longer true, no longer hold true.
And on the end of prophecies.
So with all the prophesizing and so that's swirling around, history itself might hold a prophecy as well.
Among those present at the event were a wide range of persons, male and female, both youth and adults.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050. Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year. Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
We will live well.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Plug into Digicel Plus and get even more entertainment with Disney Plus included. The best of Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic all in one place. Whenever you want, plug into Plus to enjoy Disney Plus and much more with a home fiber bundle. Sign up today. Digicel Plus.